Hey guys, today is as good as any to be a 2-video day. So over on MichelleAfterDark in a little while, a video about summer wells on the search dogs is going to come out. But in this video, we're going to talk about the Henrietta horror show. One of the most disturbing cases that I've heard of for a good while. And I think there's so much more to come out in this story. But Jesse McFadden murdered his wife, 3 stepchildren, 2 of one of his stepchildren's friends, and then he shot himself. But this guy should not have been out of prison. There's more that's come out, and there's going to be more, I think, that's going to come out. Ivy Webster's family's lawyer, Cameron Spradling, has been talking a lot on Twitter, and he says in his words here, "As attorney for the Ivy Webster family, I have focused my energies on prodding Ellie. I've been requested to answer deeper questions tomorrow night on Ashley Banfield's News Nation programme. What is the opinion of my followers? Do we trust law enforcement to tell you?" So this comes after News Nation, Banfield on News Nation, interviewed Holly's aunt, so Holly's the wife, and she said that when they went in, they found a bunch of really disturbing things, more restraint. They found Polaroid pictures of children under a floorboard. They found bloody clothing of a toddler, and the blood was still fresh, like not fully soaked in. I mean, just really, really disturbing. Now, Ivy's dad, Justin, has said that those things weren't found. There weren't lewd, naked photos of children. I don't know. So Cameron Spradling is going on Banfield tonight to talk about this stuff. So maybe we'll get some information, but law enforcement may not be telling Justin the truth. We don't know. But we do know some things that Cameron Spradling has been finding out. 32 different cell phones and individuals utilised the House of Horrors as their location address. Information obtained by my law firm's PI, now in the possession of the OSBI. 32 cell phones and individuals utilised the House of Horrors. And this was the case that law enforcement said was closed. That the perpetrator was dead. Why are you still doing this? One law enforcement official told Ivy Webster's dad a few days ago. They'd left all of this evidence in there. That crime scene has been contaminated. The chain of custody for a lot of those items has been broken. Jesse McFadden's dead, but in future, if they wanted to prosecute other people who were involved in this House of Horrors, you know, I said in my first video on this case, how do we know that there aren't other men frequenting that house for sex with minors? How do we know that this isn't a ring? I fully believe now that this is a ring. Defence attorneys would have an absolute field day with the way that this crime scene has been adulterated. How the chain of custody of probably hundreds of pieces of evidence has been lost. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. This is just appalling. Absolutely appalling. Now, over this weekend, local law enforcement have been in ponds. They've been digging stuff up. Don't know that anything's been found, but at least now they are taking this seriously. You know, this is a 20-odd acre property. How do we know that there aren't the remains of people who are currently missing on that property? Jesse McFadden, according to the Oklahoman, was a monster in sheep's clothing. Why this guy was let out of prison, I'll never understand this. Let's look at what the Oklahoman says about his record. He was caught twice in 2003 driving under suspension. Then he committed the R that he did his time for on November 2nd, 2003 at a trailer home in Canadian Shores, about 21 miles north of McAllister. He pled no contest to the felony, got 20 years, served just under 17 years. After arriving in prison, he told official, "I stole $80,000 from my grandpa's safe, blew it on drugs and unnecessary things." About his crime, he said he got spun out on dope, vodka and an antipsychotic drug, lost control of myself and hard one of my friends. Prosecutors told prison officials that he tied her up by hands and feet to a bedpost, cut her short off, put a knife to her throat. Just awful. Crystal Strong, now 36, has spoken about her ordeal by name to the media since the murders. "I was screaming pretty loud like, 'Get off me,' and crying, and he said, 'If you don't stop screaming, I'll kill you right here.' He showed up at her dad's trailer at 2 or 3 in the morning, banging repeatedly on the door. He claimed his girlfriend had broken up with him and he needed a place to stay. I said, 'Not my problem, you need to go home, figure it out. My dad's not here.' Went to shut the door, pushed his way through. Next thing I know, I have a sock in my mouth and being drugged through the house and being tied up to my bed." So she fled her own home. Once in prison, things did not improve for Jesse McFadden. Started getting in trouble in prison even before he asked the judge for less time. First misconduct, having tobacco in his cell. Not the worst thing in the world, I would think. Judge refused in November 2004 to modify his prison time. In 2005, he told the corrections case manager not to house him any further with black people. "I was raised around the Klan. A lot of my family is Klan. I'm a racial person," he wrote. I think that should be a racist person. Okay. 2009, first S incident, caught naked in his cell with another inmate. Next S incident, 2010, another inmate accused him of R. So he's fluid with who he likes to R. He doesn't care who you are, doesn't care. He's just this crazed monster. Admitted to having relationships with the inmate and was disciplined internally. So they didn't take that very seriously, did they? 2013, caught with a cell phone for the first time after a woman reported he'd been texting her for 3 months. This was an ongoing situation with him. She reported she stopped responding after finding out he was in prison. Then he began sending threatening texts from prison. Caught again with a cell phone in 2016. Then he was charged in 2017. With S crimes, accused in 1 felony count of sexting with a minor, second felony count of possessing juvenile P. On the phone, an S video of a 16-year-old girl and photos of her in different stages of undress. Also, photos of a male exposing himself. Then this 2017 case was delayed for years, set to start on May 1st, but by then it was too late. Despite those misconduct and others, he was let out after serving 85% of his sentence, which is normal if a prisoner's got good behaviour. I've not got a problem with that. All of these misconducts weren't taken into account. He still had credit for good behaviour. His release date was October 30th, 2020. Then he was jailed for his 2017 case after getting out of prison, but he was released on a $25,000 bond, and the case was delayed repeatedly. All right, if he was let out on bond, fair enough, but why was it repeatedly delayed? It was delayed for 6 years. Prosecutors revealed in court filings that at one point McFadden tried to get the victim to claim he was in a secret romantic relationship with one of her older friends, so trying to get her to lie. Questions remain about why he remained free. He tried to get her to claim she had been talking and texting with another inmate, not McFadden. Prosecutors called McFadden manipulative and controlling. They revealed in court filings he wrote her letters that they would be married and have children. He wrote the victim one more time on April 30th on Facebook. As you know, if you've been following this case, according to the message, it said, "I did exactly what I promised I would do when I got out. I got a marketing job, making great money, and I was being advanced. Been there 2 years now, made a great life like I promised I would do with you. Now it's all gone. I told you I wouldn't go back. This is all on you for continuing this. The lives of 6 people, plus him, were ended. But how much more is there to come out? How much more? How many more victims are there? This is a ring, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. All right, guys, let me know your comments below, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye, guys.